Peace, peace. What up? Coach Kyer in the building. What's the wall of suffering? Why too much information is dangerous? How to properly use your magic and how to grow with a little bit of Mercury retrograde. And this is on the spring equinox. Even though it's going to be good like all the time, that's what this one is about. Please invite 2 people. Do a cool tie for the tide. Wabazung, I'm a Farragon, Shalel Kalum. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. And I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all, as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. I can be all that all is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Istanje elaku. We honor and respect the masters that came before us and strive to follow in their example. Honesty to myself and others at all times. Humility in thought, words, and deeds of those above and beneath me. Patience. I will put the needs of others before that of my own, but not the greedy. Sincerity. I will fear only my lack of sincerity. What's up, family? All right. This one has been on me like all day to do. Please press 2 if you have invited someone. What up, Alexis? Press hey, Kristen. Yes, press 2 if you share this on your page. Kristen, like what it do. Also identify yourself with your team zodiac and what city and state you in. I see you, Stephanie. What up, Sean? Peace, God. Team Cancer in Birmingham. I see Corey in the building. What up, Danielle? And what up, Shanta Sharp? Shirley's in the building. What up, Daryl Mooney? The twins. Of course, Bill Wan. Happy birthday tomorrow. Right, because your birthday is a day early. And shouts out to all my team Pisces, because this is the end, because the spring equinox starts at 5:58 p.m. today, which is in about 20 minutes. What up, Team Taurus in Detroit? Peace. Press 2 if you shared the video. This one's kind of like an instructional quickie. Hopefully I can get out of here in like 15 minutes. Let's see. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. The wall of suffering. So I'm going to just tell you a story about the wall of suffering. My story of how I found out about the wall of suffering. And then I want to talk about what you came to the planet to do. And then the danger of too much information. All right. Also, how to do what you came here to do. Because there's a lot of confusion on what you think you came here to do. All right. So one day I was talking to my teacher and he says, yo, you're going to mess around and reincarnate as a Christian missionary. And I said, I don't get down with the church like that. Why are you saying, such things about me, talking about I'm going to reincarnate as a Christian missionary? I don't mess with the church. I don't do that type of stuff, right? Cincy in the building, Team Libras. And he said, because you spend all of your time and your energy banging your head on the wall of suffering. And I said, the wall of suffering? What's that? I don't want to suffer. I want to be rich. I want to do this. Da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, the wall of suffering came with the planet. Really, it's 2 teachers talking. So it's Mitchie and Kathy Gibson talking at the same time, right? So if I don't switch and say who said what, because they kind of speak like with one voice sometimes when they're talking to me. So Mama Kathy says, the planet Earth is a place of suffering. It's not a love and light spot. And there's a wall of suffering that goes around the world. And anytime you try to destroy it, it feeds off of human energy. So like if I push my nose together, that's energy. If I pull my beard or turn my ring or wring my hands, that's energy. If I try to lift someone up, that's energy. If I try to pull someone down, that's energy. If I pull my hair or whatever I do that is any type of expression is energy. And the wall of suffering eats and lives off of energy. So when you go to it trying to destroy it and tear it down, it's growing 50 miles high and 50 miles wide. Then Dr. Gibson says, hey, on your last day, after you pass and you're in front of the spiritual council, they're going to ask you one question. Did you use all of your spiritual gifts and tools in order to grow? And I said, what? He said, yeah. And if there's anything like, oh, I was trying to free people, I was trying to help my children, I was sacrificing for Melissa Hallman, I was trying to get Ori in Florida, I was trying to get her right. I was trying to help the Libras out. I was trying to do astrology and teach that to the kids, but I didn't really use all my tools though, because I couldn't, because the white man was this, or because there too much religion was on the planet. And whatever the excuse is, they're going to send me back. And since I have so many tools and I want to bang my head against the wall of suffering, which cannot be destroyed, they're going to send me back as a Christian missionary. Now, what does the job description of Christian missionaries do? I don't know if you've ever been to church, but Christian missionaries visit the sick and shut in. So if you visit the sick and shut in your whole life, guess how you're going to end up being the sick and shut in and somebody visiting you. I don't want to visit the sick and shut in because I don't want nobody visiting me. Yeah, I'll pray for you, send prayers, stuff like that, but I ain't going to make it my mission to go around. And that's what Christian missionaries do. They go visit the sick and shut in. So-and-so sick, so-and-so sick. So you said, I done all this in this life to get with enlightenment, spirituality, raise my vibration, stop eating pork, stop cursing, practice magic and sorcery. And then I run the risk of coming back, not as a star, but as a Christian missionary because I'm banging my head on the wall of suffering. So I'm confused now because I'm Coach Khayr and I want to help everybody. I want to help I want to help my tribe. But then it was like, your tribe can't save you because your tribe has to make their own choices. Your tribe has to make their own choices, whether they stay or leave the wall of suffering. What up, Gabrielle? Team Taurus in the building. 30 more days and it's our turn. So, what did we come to the planet to do then? If we didn't come here to suffer. Why is the wall here? Growth is the purpose. Everything else is the result. Can everybody please type that? Growth is the purpose. Everything else is the result. If you just got here and you haven't shared this on your page, please press, share this on your page and then press 2. Then type, growth is the purpose. Everything else is the result. Share the video, press 2, then type, growth is the purpose. Everything else is the result. What up, Seafood Karen? So, Ms. Williams is in the building. So if growth is the purpose and everything else is the result, there's only 2 directions you can grow. Just like this, I can grow up or I can grow down, right? Up or down like a tree. If anybody's got an astrology reading from me, that's what I talk about at the very beginning. Growth is the purpose, everything else is the result. Growth is the purpose, everything else is the result. If I'm going to do magic, that's a result of my growth. If I'm going to go to prison, that's a result of my growth. If somebody wants to be an atheist or Jehovah's Witness or a Christian or a Muslim, that's the result of growth. Billionaire and bankruptcy are the result of growth. But one is going down and one is going up. What up, Wendell? Thanks for sharing the video. Press 2 if you shared it. Growth is the purpose. Everything else is the result. So if I want to stop suffering, I should try to get to the top of the tree. The top of the tree, that's where the fruits are. The bottom of the tree are bitter roots. You ever bit on some roots? They're bitter. But what about if you put them if you go to the top, the mangoes are sweet. If you need an astrology reading for me to really get into growth is the purpose, Everything else is a result. And how to get you on your direction, go to CoachKAstrology.info. I'll help you. Yeah, I will. Man, I want to pause 1 second to say this human design that I've been on lately is so crazy and so good for me and creating such a big change in my life that I'm just very, very, very happy to be in a present place where I'm at right now. Some realizations that I'm having DNA explosions as I sit here. Move on. I want to share some of these with you today, and this is one of the things as a result of my studies that I want to share. So are our experiences all about growth? Yes. All of your experiences. Somebody stole your laptop, broke your window, you didn't have insurance, and your car got towed, and you didn't have the money to get it out, and then they repossessed your car, and you lost your apartment. That's growth. It's disagreeable. There's only 2 types of growth, agreeable and disagreeable. Sweet fruit, bitter roots. There's only 2 types of growth, but it's always going on. But you get to choose. And how many incarnations are there? You incarnate until you get it right. You incarnate until you stop having to incarnate. One of the things that helps you stop incarnating is to quit dying. You believe in death. That's the wall of suffering. When you're stuck to the wall of suffering, like Velcro, then you believe in death. And most of you who are watching this have been designed you've been designed to believe that death is the end answer. You say that death is the end. Thank you. If you just got here, please press 2. So, how do you stop the suffering and get to the top of the tree? Well, in my story, the Gibson said, you can't hear God at the wall of suffering. You can't hear God at the wall of suffering. So if I can't hear God at the wall of suffering, I want to hear God, because the G in growth is for God. The G in growth is for God. So if I can't hear God's voice at the wall of suffering, it doesn't mean that he's not there. He's trying to tell me something on how to get right. And as the pimp say, get right or get left. So I'm trying to get right. Since I ain't getting right, I can't hear God's voice. I'm at the wall of suffering. How do you know that you're at the wall of suffering? You already know. You whining and complaining. All of your friends are whining and complaining. The things that you're coming out of, you believe in death. You don't believe in immortality. Letitia, hey baby. You don't believe in immortality. You only believe in what you've been programmed to believe. And all of it is the Maya. M-A-I-A. If everybody can type that. M-A-I-A. This is an illusion that we're in. And we have chose to come here and suffer until we learn to change our minds and stop suffering. Hey, Miss Wilson. What up, Miss Ingram? Please press 2 when you share the video. Also state your team zodiac and what city and state you represent. All right. I'm Team Taurus, Coach Khayr, Atlanta, Georgia. I like kisses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Maya is the illusion. And your mind, your enemy, is the problem. Your mind, the enemy, created it. So you should touch your head. Repeat after me. My mind, which is my enemy, that's inside of my head, created this illusion. And everybody that I know, their minds are contributing as an enemy to create and uphold the illusion of Maya. So, how do I hear God's voice? If I can't hear God's voice at the wall of suffering, this is super simple. I start to walk away from the wall of suffering. Natricia, what up? I see Atlanta in the building. Hey, Shakira. Walking away from the wall of suffering. and everything that pertains to it, especially your family. Your family is first. Your family is going to be because your family is the one who programmed you and passed down the knowledge of the wall of suffering in the first place. Peace, Universal Queen. Team Virgo in the building, I see you. Team Aquarius in the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. How you doing, Lucy? So, what up, Polly? Legato is in the building. If I want to hear God's voice, I have to leave the wall of suffering and everything that is associated with it. That's the formula. Somebody type that. Since everybody knows, somebody type. Right. That's the formula. I have to leave the wall of suffering, and that's all I have to do. What up, Costanza? Now, how do I leave the wall of suffering? I leave the wall of suffering by walking away and using awareness. Awareness is noticing things like paying attention to the obvious. So many people ignore the obvious that's right in front of your face, like a mustache. It's right up under your nose when I'm ignoring it. If I ignore it too long, it'll get unkempt. So why do we ignore that? We want to ignore, but that's the program, because your enemy create a program in your mind for you to ignore the obvious. The solutions that come in front of you every day, maybe twice a week, once a week. If they come once a month, you still ignore them so you can continue to choose suffering. Limitations you argue for, you get to keep. Mitchell Earl Gibson. Limitations you argue for, you get to keep. So, the further away you walk from the wall of suffering, let's say this is the wall of suffering and I'm leaving. Like, this is how people normally are stuck to the wall of suffering. So the further you get away from the wall of suffering, the more you can hear God's voice, the more God can work on you. The further away you get, the louder God's voice gets. Then you keep getting further away. So what's God going to give you? Instructions. All the prophets left the wall of suffering. Every wise man in every holy text left the wall of suffering and got a message from God, and it changed their life for the better. They were introduced to the sweet fruit. The wall of suffering is only serving bitter roots. The wall of suffering is only serving bitter roots. You get what you deserve, and you deserve what you get. If you stay at the wall of suffering, that's what you get. They serving dried roots with dirt on them 24/7. People always spitting on other people at the wall of suffering. As soon as you start to walk away, you start getting the mango juice, the pineapple juice, the good stuff, the strawberries, the milk and honey. God gives you instructions. Buddha's is one of the most famous. Right. God gives you instructions. You start following those instructions, which is hard. What's up, Kandaka? A lot of cats do not want to follow instructions. So many of you humans, black, white, orange, all whatever humanoid you are, you do not like following instructions from regular human beings. That's why women have it the worst, because you can't follow instructions from a man. You think you're independent. You think you're supposed to do what men do. You don't want to express humility. You don't want to be led. And so you haven't had any time to practice. So when God gives you some instructions, you can't even hear it. God may have sent the person to you to give you the instructions, but you're so independent, or you don't tell me what to do-ish. That's okay. That's why I said the needy women who looking for instructions, they winning. What's that, West Side? They're winning. Winning. Chris Enlightenment, they're winning. Leave the wall of suffering and everything associated with it. Like the people, especially your family. The first thing, every time, So many of you on here talking about this gets you so excited. But then guess what? When it's time to make a decision between you and your family, you still pick your family. You pick your mother. You pick your father. You pick situations. You pick your check. Your check is a part of the wall of suffering. And I'm somebody who loves what money does for me. But I can't pick my check over my peace. Some of y'all say, well, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, how am I going to get a check? How am I going to eat? I've also heard from very wise teachers that to not let your imagination be limited to your check, to the amount on your check. Some of you are only imagining as far as your check can go. When your check stops, you look at your check and your check tells you the possibilities of your imagination. Golly. Wow. I can only make these type of videos now so somebody can look back at them when my millions start to come, because I ain't going to be talking about this again. Nah. Oh, I'm going to be doing other things with other mega millionaires and billionaires that don't make videos either. You notice that when jokers get off the wall of suffering and start and get their paper right, they like on Instagram or they're not on social media anywhere. Other people are talking about them. That'll be happening to me soon. Or later. It doesn't matter. But as I leave and keep putting distance between, now sometimes the trip looks like this because you keep getting pulled back to the wall of suffering. Some of y'all keep getting away and then you get pulled back. And then you whine and complain and all that and get pulled back. Guess what? Keep running. You need to be a runaway slave. That's what it is. Instead of a runaway slave, we should be called a runaway sufferer. Everybody who's down with being a runaway sufferer, just press 1. No. Press 3 because you got to do it over and over again. 3 is for choices. Right, like Gemini. So, you have to run. You have to run away from the wall. You have to run away from the wall. It's so important. Yes. So, try to run away from the wall. You must be a runaway sufferer, not a runaway slave. You was a slave to the wall. You was a sufferer, a full-time sufferer. You had a job at the wall of suffering. Somebody asked me, they was like, how do you make it out here? And how are you? I'm talking about a very, very intelligent, wise woman that I know down in Florida asked me, she was like, how is it that you don't work a job, don't depend on a check from Mr. Charlie? And she was like, well, on the spiritual path, I got to find me another job that pays me more money. She's limited to the amount of dollars on her check. You got to be committed to leaving the wall of suffering too. Yeah. I don't necessarily believe it. I understand the story of Harriet Tubman, but I haven't seen enough evidence that she really existed. But I do understand the story. You know what I'm saying? And a story can take you so far, and just like you can just take a story and believe in it, and it can really motivate you and get you going somewhere. If this story of the wall of suffering, which ain't a story, is real life, is motivating you, that's great. If you say it's a bunch of crock, that's great too. I don't care. I don't know how I could prove it to you. All I'm doing is reporting back to you from my own personal experience, and it feels good. And when I don't feel like talking about it no more, I'm not. But today, just very strong at this end of Pisces, about to be going into Aries. Happy spring equinox, everyone. It was just like, yo, this is what I felt like sharing. Now, how do you use your magic? You want to use your magic on top shelf running. Top shelf running. You want to have your tools. Get you some tools and run. You want to get a tool. If you get a tool that costs $3, then you're going to get $3 results getting off the wall. Or let's just say every tool can do, put 2 zeros. So say every dollar you spend can make 100. So if you spend $3, it's going to make 100. But if I spend 300, it's going to make me 30,000. Which one you want? For every dollar you spend, put 2 zeros on it. So you spend 1,000. You're looking at getting 100,000 back. That's how spiritual tools work. That's the shortest way I could explain it to you. So when somebody says, you spent these are 400, and that means I'm gonna get 40,000. It was on sale for 50% off. I got it for 150 or whatever I got it for. It don't matter. The results, I get big time tools because I need big time results, because the wall of suffering is no joke. Do you want to come back here and continue to bang your head on the wall of suffering is the question you need to ask yourself. Next is the proper use of magic is not getting even with someone. Don't use your magic to get even with someone. Use your magic to get away from someone. Use your magic to put yourself in a better position. Use your magic to help somebody else after you help yourself. You can't pour water from an empty cup. Abby Elias, 1992, something like that. Well, no, about 96, I think he told me that. You can't pour water from an empty cup. So what you gonna do? You gotta take care of yourself first. So use the magic on you to get it away. Because the further I get away from the wall of suffering, I can hear God's voice, get instructions, use the tool I got. I get me another tool. They like monkey rings. Expensive tools are like monkey rings. I'm getting away from the wall of suffering. You can crawl like this from the wall of suffering, or you can reach up and grab them and do some Jupiter type stuff. Swing like an ape. Swing like Tarzan. It's up to you. Or you can stay at the wall of suffering and keep buying Velcro suits. At the wall of suffering, they also have condos, mansions, penthouses, Skid Row. Economics does not have anything to do with the wall of suffering. Rocky's in the building. I love you, sis. Wall of suffering doesn't care about how much money you make. There's billionaires at the wall of suffering. Not many of them, but there's millionaires at the wall of suffering. Whole bunch of rap artists. Whole bunch of professional athletes. They have all type of houses and cars, and you can still be a landowner. You can be a vegetarian at the wall of suffering, and you can live in community or by yourself. Every range of thing that you want. You can be homeless on the street, or you can have a 100-room Emirates tower in Dubai. Yeah. Vaughn, what it do, son? Peace to the God. Hey, Monica. So press 2 if you share this video. Also introduce yourself, what city and state you represent, and what team Zodiac you are. I'm Coach Khayr, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. And the last piece is the danger of too much information. Who do I tell you the enemy? Who's the enemy? Everybody, can I get a hashtag? The mind is my enemy. Not the mind is my enemy. The mind is my enemy. Your mind is your enemy. My mind is my enemy. They work together to go against us by this illusion. We keep fighting for the limitations and the illusions and arguing about the illusion not working the way our mind. The mind's not supposed to figure out things. This now I'm going over into human design. That's why there's a danger of too much information. I think I'm pretty much done. I don't want to know anything anymore. I just want to be aware, because knowledge creates constructs. When you start to know things, and I know Dr. York talked about right knowledge, but when you know things, you start to create constructs. And when you start to create constructs, you start building cell walls and prisons and painting them, saying, this is my house. This is a nice place. And it's not. All right. What up, Pelham, Alabama, Team Virgo? Maui is in the building. So my mind is my enemy. My mind is my enemy. The collective mind is the collective's enemy. And I can't fight the collectives no more. I'm just out here right now. I don't have to even fight my own mind. All I got to do is be aware. Do the opposite of what my mind wants. My mind wants me to know things. I'd rather be aware of everything. Aware of everything versus knowing something. I don't want to know something. I want to be aware of everything. Listen to what I just said. I don't want to know anything. I want to be aware of everything. Because when we start feeling like somebody's smarter than me, I need to know more before I make it. Too much knowledge will cripple you. Cripple you. Because you think there's some kind of responsibility for you to go and read all these books and be something that you're not even designed to be. You're supposed to be aware. That's all. Getting away from the wall of suffering is going to take awareness. Too much information is going to keep you at the wall. Too much overthinking. That's the number one thing your enemy does to you, is make you think too much. What up, Siobhan? You just got here. Press 2 if you shared the video, and please announce yourself, what team Zodiac you are, and what city and state you in. Team Leo, Taurus, what it do? Thank you for sharing the video. Right. So you got to get away from your mind, listen to God, get away from the wall of suffering and anything associated with it, including your family first, second and third probably. Leave by yourself, because the further you get away from the wall of suffering, you start running into other runaway sufferers. Like I ran into Chris Enlighten when I started leaving the wall of suffering. I ran into Carly Mellors Blair all the way in the UK when I started getting away from the wall of suffering. I ran into Gabrielle when I was getting away from the wall of suffering. I ran into Maria when I left the wall of suffering. I ran into Vaughn. Now, sometimes a joker might be free. I might cross him. He may be running back towards the wall of suffering. I ain't going to try to stop him. He going to see me and say, where you going? I don't got to say nothing. Because if I ain't headed to chaos, then you ain't got to ask me where I'm going. Anything is better than chaos. If I'm heading away from chaos, you don't have to ask me where I'm going. That means you want to know. That's awareness. If I see you going, remember when you go to the club and jokers start shooting and the crowd start running this way, you don't never go and be like, where's the dude with the gun? You just run the way the crowd is running. That's the facts. That's awareness. Awareness kicks in. Don't stop waiting to get into a dangerous situation in order for awareness to kick in. Have awareness all the time. Meditation will help get you off the wall of suffering. Not trying to figure it out. Not your money. Not all of that. What up, Vicky? Yes. Yeah, that's how I get out of here. I run into jokers of my tribe. See, the only way I can associate with you is if you heading in the direction I'm heading. What direction is that? Away from the wall of suffering. Right. You do big tools, you do big things, and you're running. You're running and winning. Every inch away from the wall, every centimeter away from the wall of suffering is a win. Every centimeter away is a win. Every millimeter, every nanosecond away is a win. Yeah. I don't need no more information. No more knowledge. I don't. Nope. I need way more awareness though. And because my awareness is really fire, but I sometimes don't depend on it enough. I'd rather depend on my awareness than my knowledge. And that's why I be slaying folks. Jokers can't keep up with me. I used to think I had competition. Then I look at them and they reading books trying to keep up with me. I use awareness. That's my secret. Relaxation is the key, and awareness. I'm off and running. You want to keep up with Coach Khayr? You're going to have to increase your awareness. You got an emergency? It's probably because you have limited awareness. People come to me and I tell them things and they be like, I knew that. That means you was ignoring your awareness. You want to come to me, I'll tell you what you're ignoring. I will. Because it's easy for me to see I'm aware. And I'm even aware of what your crap is. Kevin Bass is in the building. What up, Lord? My big homie from way back in the day. Know me as Jazz. Y'all don't even understand about who Jazz is. I came from a cat named who they used to call Jazz. Some still call him Jazz. You know what I mean? Relax and increase my awareness. You ain't gotta ask all them questions. Like Tiffany Hall, she wants to ask all the questions. The more you know, the more you a liar. The more you know, the more you think you in control. You're not in control of nothing. Being a control freak, man, that's worse than being called a nigger by a white Ku Klux Klansman. I'm telling you, I'd rather have a Klansman spit on me. I'd rather have a Klansman spit on me than you call me a know-it-all or a control freak. Man, listen. The alcohol is at the wall of suffering too. A lot of y'all be trying to drown your problems or smoke your problems away or whatever. Hey, if you ain't gonna be accountable and get your stuff together, I can't help you. So I gotta go cut some grass. I got a client at 7 o'clock. If any of you would like to get a consultation with Coach Khayr, even though it says Coach K Astrology, I do a lot more than that. Just go over there and get you a session and we'll get it popping. CoachKAstrology.info. If you have not taken my free goals class, somebody please type these as I say them. CoachKAstrology.info. That's if you want to get a session with me personally. CoachKClass.com. It's a free goal writing class. Start writing things down. CoachesCloset.com. No E. CoachesCloset.com is the free meditation. 17-minute video meditation on how to meditate. Watch it twice a day for 2 weeks. It's a wrap. Don't worry about nothing else. CoachKClass.com, yes. That's the free goal writing class. Coach K Astrology, the book of one-on-one with me. Coach's Closet is to get the free meditation. CoachKLive.com is the Prosperity 365. That's the Prosperity 365. To me, this is the kit you need. This is the kit to get off the wall of suffering. I made it for you so I can leave it behind when I go do something else. When you be like, I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to be too busy. I'm going to be doing God's work. This is God's work too, but as my money grow, God's going to give me more assignments, just like you. CoachKLive.com is the Prosperity 365 course. You need that. Matter of fact, the coupon code is CK10 for $10 off. If you went this far listening, CK10 is the coupon code for the CoachKLive.com and MoonMagic28.com. To me, I gave all I had in those. MoonMagic28.com. That's the Moon Magic course. I would take that last. I would do the free goal writing class, get a reading. I would get the meditation, do the free goal writing class, get a consultation, take the Prosperity 365, and then take Moon Magic last. It's over after that. I would always take Moon Magic last. It's not the most advanced course, but you have all the information you need on what direction you need so you can design your next 24 goals over the next year. What up, Maya? Right. I can't help that you I can't help that you triggered. I know what my design is. I feel you. Thank you so much, everybody. I got to get ready to roll out. I got to cut some grass before the sun go down. What was that? What was the number one thing that you took away from this video? And on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do? You know what I'm saying? 1, don't ever do this again. And then 10, please keep giving the heat. What was the biggest thing that you could go and apply to you right now? I hope this was helpful. I found you in peace. I'm going to leave you in prayer. And a Bakoa, get you like your minka, Tatia Tezera, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, to Arvanu Nara, Nah, get bored, Shay Yakadeka, Kabava Shaman, Warkum Time, Rakame, to Zika Taker, to meet Gamlin, Kasin Kadosh, Badaru, Tufka, the hell out of Taker, Yakit Gehale, Chapanaz, and Craig Katushka Taker, Shavatanuka Bel Ushma, the Zakatanu, your Dea Talamot, Buruk Shim, Kavo Makuto, Lalam Vaed. Somebody just sent me a message and was like, I don't trust them. I trust who you show me. So what you do, I trust that you'll do that. So that's all I can trust is what somebody show. That's all I'm going to do. You get some heat. 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 Y'all wish I was like my man Chris Enlightening his inbox. I gotta light his inbox up 2-3 times a week. You don't even see the stuff he getting on regular public. That's on my private side. Because he running, I need to keep him running too. I need that big ass Libra bear to keep running away from the wall too, so I can run with him. Right. Take responsibility for your whole life. 10 shots fired. Doing my best. I took all those classes, never had a free consultation. I don't have no free consultations. My free consultations is when I ask somebody to come on here, they want to be on here together, and I bring them on here and we ask a question. Or my Uber driver. But no, I ain't never been like, everybody called me for a free consultation. Right. I love you too, Stephanie. Moon magic is the truth. I agree, Lena. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. All right, I'm going to holler at y'all. You just got here, go back and hit the replay. Peace.